Hey everyone, today we are diving into one important topic, the von Willebrand's disease. But before I start, I'll flash some medical terms on the screen that you will encounter later on my discussion so that it will be easy for you to understand the disease. So grab a seat and let's get into it. Yung von Willebrand's disease ay isang genetic disorder or namamana na characterized ng pagdurugo dahil sa dysfunction ng von Willebrand factor. Ano yung von Willebrand factor? Ito yung key protein sa blood natin for clotting process. This plays an essential role of the platelet adhesion and aggregation. Ano yung sinasabi natin na adhesion? Yung adhesion, yung pagdikit ng platelet doon sa injured na blood vessel. And yung sinasabi natin naman na aggregation ay yung pag-activate ng mga platelet na dumikit na doon sa injury ng blood vessel. And this stabilizes the coagulation factor 8, which also involved in the clotting cascade. Now, I want to stick in your mind na yung problem natin sa von Willebrand disease natin is yung pagkababa ng von Willebrand factor or yung von Willebrand factor deficiency. Quick recall lang ito. For example, sa negative feedback mechanism, may patient tayo na nagkaroon ng internal bleeding. So, yung natural response ng homeostasis dito is nagkakaroon siya ng blood clot to prevent severe more issues. And yun yung tinatawag natin na negative feedback mechanism. Now, I have here the steps of the homeostasis. We have here the vasoconstriction, temporary platelet plug, hindi siya masyadong kita, coagulation, fibrinolysis, and regeneration. So, yung problem ng von Willebrand's disease, paano siya nagko-connect, is, sinasabi ko kanina, mababa yung von Willebrand factor natin sa temporary platelet plug. Hindi yun mangyayari kasi mababa ang ating von Willebrand factor. Yung von Willebrand factor ay tumutulong para mag-adhere yung platelet. And dito naman sa ating coagulation, may tinatawag dito tayo na factors. Yung kailangan natin na factor dito is yung factor 8. Yung von Willebrand factor natin and yung factor 8 natin ay magkadikit or magkasama. So, pag mababa ang von Willebrand factor natin, mababa din ang ating factor 8. So, bago tayo mismo mag-start sa disease, I want to illustrate first yung normal na nangyayari sa ating blood vessel once it is injured. So, this is the look of the injured blood vessel. Ito yung endothelial cell. Ito yung exposed na subendothelial collagen. Ito yung yellow subendothelial collagen, and it is exposed because of the injury. And ito yung platelet. Ito yung platelet na kailangan mapunta dito, matakpan yung subendothelial collagen to stop the bleeding. Now, yung normal na nangyayari is here. So, diba, sinabi ko na kailangan magpuntahan dito yung platelet, mamuod dito para mag-stop yung bleeding. Now, para mangyari yun, ay kailangan natin ng von Willebrand factor. So, as you can see, ito na siya. And, na-mention ko kanina na yung von Willebrand factor ay magkasama sa factor 8. Lagi yung magkasama. So, andito na siya. And, para magkadikit, itong mga platelet, with the help of the GPLB. So, yan yung parang mag-hold dito sa factor 8 natin. Sana nakikita at naiintindihan. Yun yung mag-hold para magkaroon ng blood clot. So, yun, magpupuntahan yan dito. Yun yung normal na nangyayari. And, once na nagkadikit na siya dito sa ating von Willebrand factor, together with the factor 8, yun yung sinasabi natin na platelet adhesion. Ayan. Normal to na nangyayari. So, since we're talking about the von Willebrand disease, yung von Willebrand factor natin ay mababa. So, hindi to yung mangyayari. it will just expose, walang mapupuntang von Willebrand factor dyan, or hindi enough to form a clot. So, mag-expose lang yung, it will just expose the subendothelial collagen and magpapulong lang yung bleeding. So, yan. Here, and now, let's proceed na sa ating pathophysiology para ma-discuss further yung disease na ito. So, I have here a pathophysiology of the von Willebrand factor. Here. Unfortunately, intentionally talaga hindi ako nakapag-prepare for a digital one kasi I have other plans for this, but wala tayong magagawa. Let's stick into this na lang. So, von Willebrand disease is inherited, possible for autosomal dominant here, and inheritance and the recessive inheritance. Now, we have types. We have 3 types of von Willebrand disease. Under the autosomal dominant is the type 1 and the type 2. The type 1, the von Willebrand factor here is working properly, yet it's not enough. And sa type 2 naman, it doesn't work yung von Willebrand factor na to, it doesn't work as it should. And here, sa recessive inheritance, hindi ko pa na-explain. Ito, sa autosomal dominant, kahit isang parent lang yung carrier ng disease, ay possible na siya na mapamana sa mga biological anak. And sa recessive, it requires 2, so both parents. And under with it is the type 3. That's a complete qualitative von Willebrand factor deficiency. This is the rarest type. The rarest type of the von Willebrand disease, and also the most severe one. And or mas malala pa, wala nang natitira na von Willebrand factor sa kanilang mga bloodstream para dito sa type 3. And yon. So, after that is, let's bring it down. Dahil sa kanila, may type 1, type 2, and type 3, isa lang yung bring down nila. Von Willebrand deficiency, mababa ang von Willebrand factor nila. So, because of that is magkakaroon tayo von Willebrand factor available to bind to damage blood vessel collagen to anchor platelet is decreased. Because of that, magkakaroon ng defective platelet adhesion. Defective platelet adhesion, yung in-explain ko kanina here, normal na nangyayari is nagkaroon ng platelet adhesion kasi kumapit pa yung platelet with the help of GPLB. Now, kasi mababa ang ating von Willebrand factor, nagkaroon ng defective platelet adhesion. And because of that is impaired na rin yung platelet plug formation natin, hindi na na-activate. Kasi wala naman talaga ma-activate, walang nagtipon dun eh. Or sa ibang case like sa type 1, type 2, it doesn't work properly. Or sa type 1 naman, it's not enough. So, impaired yung platelet plug formation natin. And because of that, is mapapanatiling exposed yung subendothelial collagen natin. That's why it will just increase the bleeding. Yung bleeding time measures the length of time required to form a platelet plug. And signs and symptoms ito is spontaneous hematoma, easy bruising, and also because of the exposed subendothelial collagen, andoon present din yung bleeding from mucosal surfaces, which could lead to gum bleeding, menorrhagia, or too much bleeding sa period natin, and also epistaxis, which is the medical term of the nose bleeding. So now, dito naman tayo sa kabila, and here, Von Willebrand's deficiency decreased, deficiency nga, decreased nga yun, diba? And, yeah, tapos, dahil dyan, yung von Willebrand factor natin to stabilize ay decrease din, and yung pag-carry ng factor 8 ay decrease din. So, because of that, kasi decrease na yung von Willebrand factor natin, bababa na yung plasma factor 8 natin. Because mababa na yung plasma factor 8 natin, it will result also to impaired intrinsic pathway of coagulation cascade. Now, yung intrinsic pathway, ito yung pag-activate ng mga clotting factors natin para magpuntahan doon sa injured blood vessel or exposed na subendothelial collagen. So, because of that, ay tataas, di na makita. Because of that, ay tataas yung time for blood clot to form. And therefore, andun yung risk for severe hemorrhage. Balik tayo muna dito sa because of impaired intrinsic pathway of coagulation cascade, aside from mag-increase yung time ng blood clot to form, and dito din, mag-increase din yung PTT natin or yung APTT or yung partial thromboplastin time, which measures the integrity of the intrinsic pathway. Because of increase na yung PTT, this will lead na to the von Willebrand disease. Ito na yung disease na pinag-uusapan natin. So, now na nakapag-come up na tayo sa von Willebrand disease, then punta na tayo sa signs and symptoms niya. So, first one is we have here the nosebleeds. People with DWD or von Willebrand disease often experience a frequent or prolonged nosebleeds because of von Willebrand factor is essential para sa blood clotting, and pag wala tayong ganun or pag walang ganun isang tao, yung blood vessel sa nose can rupture easily, leading to excessive bleeding that is hard to stop. And next is to bruises. So bruises, individuals with von Willebrand disease may bruise easily because of the weak blood vessel wall and lack of proper clot formation. Kahit sa minors, yung impact nito can cause to blood to leak and surrounding tissues, resulting to visible bruising. Tapos sa heavy periods naman, or menorrhagia, yung women often experience heavy menstrual bleeding due to inability of their blood clot properly during menstruation. Yan siya. This can result to longer and heavier periods, which may lead to further complications like anemia. So, our next is the post-surgery bleeding. Here are my signs and symptoms. Yan. And after surgery, people with von Willebrand disease face an increased risk of excessive or prolonged bleeding because of the blood does not clot properly. So, without effective clotting mechanisms, yung katawan natin ay nag-struggle na masili yung broken blood vessel doon or yung wound doon, leading to continuous bleeding. And next is to blood and poop. Yan. People with VWD may have an increased risk of gastrointestinal bleeding, which can present as blood in the stool or yung dugo sa dumi natin. The clotting problems can affect the digestive tract, leading to ulcers and small tears in the lining that may bleed. And next is to blood in pee or hematuria. Blood in the urine can occur in individuals na may von Willebrand's disease pag yung blood vessel nila sa urinary tract are damaged or weakened. This may result in visible blood in the urine as the blood does not clot efficiently to seal off minor injuries sa kidney natin or sa bladder. And next is yung iron deficiency dito. Iron deficiency anemia, chronic or excessive man yung bleeding ng individual with von Willebrand's disease can lead to iron deficiency anemia, as blood loss occurs through nosebleeds, heavy periods, injuries, and losses of red blood cells and iron, which also vital for oxygen transport. And next is a bleed from a cut or injury. So, dahil sa von Willebrand's disease, yung blood nahihirapan mag-form to stable clots, causing prolonged bleeding from cuts or injuries. Yung platelets, which are essential for clot formation, hindi nag-function properly without enough of von Willebrand factor, resulting in longer bleeding times. So, next is yung heavy bleeding after childbirth or miscarriage, or yung postpartum hemorrhage natin, is a concern for women with von Willebrand's disease, as it is impaired clotting ability that can lead to prolonged bleeding. Special care is often required to manage blood loss during and after delivery. So, kung napapansin nyo, halos lahat ng conditions na na-mentioned ko are underlying issues sa reduced ability ng blood na mag-clot properly. So, making bleeding episodes harder to control and leading to more frequent or severe bleeding. So, managing von Willebrand's disease typically involves clotting factor replacement therapies or medications that enhance clotting. So, after that is, punta na tayo sa nursing management. Ito siya. So, kahit hindi siya masyado kita, don't bother kasi magsasend naman ako ng picture nito sa group chat. So, for the nursing management, we have the history and the symptoms. The first one is to assess for history of bleeding. So, assessing the history for bleeding tendencies, easy bruising, frequent nosebleeds, prolonged menstrual bleeding, and excessive bleeding after minor cuts or dental procedures. Next is to obtain a family history of bleeding disorders. Next is the physical assessment. The first one is to monitor the signs and symptoms of active bleeding. For example, halimbawa sa gums or sa nosebleed, kailangan natin yan i-monitor. So, next is to monitor the vital signs. Of course, especially we're talking about, this is a bleeding disorder, then paano na lang kung ganun na yung case na increase na yung bleeding ng patient natin, then mas tataas nun yung heart rate, kasi mas mag-accumulate yung heart natin na mag-pump ng blood para ma-maintain yung circulation ng dugo sa ating katawan. And yes, next is the bleeding precautions. First is to educate the patient and family about the bleeding risk and signs of the bleeding. And next is to advise on the use of the soft bristles, brushes, avoid activities that lead to injury. For our diagnostic exam, we have the complete blood count. So, yung CBC measures various components of the blood, including the red blood cells, the white blood cells, the platelets, yung hemoglobin. And in the context of von Willebrand's disease, these can reveal signs of anemia due to chronic bleeding or low platelet counts. Though it is not specific to von Willebrand's disease, the test can help to rule out other cause of the bleeding. And the second is the platelet aggregation test. This is This is used to assess how well platelets clump together, a critical part of blood clotting process. Next is to activated partial thromboplastin time test. So dito, minimeasure dito yung pag-take ng time para mag-clot yung blood. So sa von Willebrand disease may cause an increased APTT because of the reduced ability ng blood na mag-form into clots. While this test can indicate a clotting problem, this is also not specific to von Willebrand disease and can be influenced by other clotting disorders. And next is yung prothrombin time natin. This measures the time it takes sa blood to clot and evaluates the function of the clotting factors. So, sa von Willebrand disease, yung PT is typically normal as the condition primarily affects the platelet function. So, dito naman tayo sa prothrombin time natin. This measures the time it takes for blood to clot and evaluates the function of the clotting factor. So this helps to distinguish the von Willebrand disease from other bleeding disorder. And von Willebrand factor antigen natin, this test measures the amount of the von Willebrand factor in the blood. So sa von Willebrand disease, the level of the von Willebrand factor is either low or dysfunctional. This test helps confirm a diagnosis sa von Willebrand disease natin by evaluating the quantity of the protein, but it does not assess its functional activity. Sa rhestocytin cofactor activity, dito naman ini-evaluate yung functional activity ng von Willebrand factor by measuring its ability to agglutinate the platelets in the presence of rhestocytin. So this test is often reduced, which reflect the impaired function of the von Willebrand factor, and also this is crucial for adhesion. And last but not the least is the von Willebrand factor multimers. This test naman, ini-evaluate dito yung structure ng von Willebrand factor natin. So sa mga tao na may von Willebrand disease, the multimeric pattern of von Willebrand factor may be abnormal, showing a reduced or altered distribution of high molecular weight ng multimers. So, itong mga multimers na to are important, again, for clot formation and a defect in their structure in the hallmark for von Willebrand disease. So, ito siya lahat, yung diagnostic exam. So, kung napapansin nyo, these tests together help diagnose the von Willebrand disease by assessing the quantity, the function, and the structure of the von Willebrand factor, as well as the von Willebrand factor, pati na rin yung mga clotting ability ng mga blood. So, depende sa results ng von Willebrand disease can be classified into different types. Pwedeng type 1, type 2 to type 3. So, from being the mildest form, and the type 3 is the most severe. So we have here the medical management of the von Willebrand disease. First, we have desmopressin. Yung desmopressin, this hormone boosts the levels of von Willebrand factor natin sa ating bloodstream. So ito yung pinaka most common na ginagamit for treatment sa von Willebrand disease. And next is the von Willebrand factor infusions. Yung nangyayari dito, some people may receive infusions of von Willebrand factor to stop the bleeding episodes. They may receive this treatment before surgery. Some people with severe von Willebrand factor disease may receive regular infusions, so they have a steady level of von Willebrand factor in their bloodstream. Next is to antifibrinolysis. These medications keep the blood clots from breaking down, and yung healthcare provider nito may prescribe this type of medication pag magkakaroon ng dental surgery or if someone who has heavy periods. And that's it. Sa last is yung birth control pills natin. Nakakatulong din to para mag-help in case of menstrual bleeding, and kasi this contains estrogen that increase the von Willebrand factor levels in our bloodstream. So yeah, yun lang, and we're done.